Okay, in the next 4 videos, we will talk about box models. So, before we go right into box model, we'll talk a little bit about the syntax that I may have missed out. I'm going to explain a little bit. So, for comments in HTML, you can create a comment block by putting a less than sign, exclamation mark, 2 dashes, and then type your command, and then you can close the closing block with 2 dash and a greater than sign. So this is a comment block in HTML. Okay, in CSS, it's much like Java and C# for those who know. Basically, it's a slash ampersand, slash asterisk and asterisk slash. So you can type your multi-line comments here. There's only multi-line comments in CSS. So if you want single line, you have to do it like this. Okay, so now I want to go through a bit the syntax itself of CSS. So the CSS, each CSS entry consists of the selector and the style block. So this is the selector as we learned previously, and this is the style block within the curly braces, including curly braces the style block. So a style block is just a collection of style properties, and each of these property describes on some kind of style you want to apply onto the selector. So the property mainly consists of two parts, which is the property name and the property value. So the syntax is very simple. It's the property name, colon, property value, and semicolon. The semicolon is actually very important. It will break if you don't put a semicolon. Okay, so the list of possible property keys and property values is in the CSS tree specification, which is I think defined by W3C schools, or maybe it's not W3C school, WGC or what WG. You can go Google and find out yourself. So within this whole workshop, we will go through the most important ones. Not in this video though. This video will focus on the introduction of box model and the content of box model basically. And then the next video we will go through the rest of box model. Okay, so box model is a very crucial part of CSS. So now we should go right into it. Introduce a bit what's box model. So what, as you know, this previously is known as the element. Let me remove the command for not confuse you. So let me remove the command. So this is an element, and this element can be described as a box, and how it's rendered on the screen follows something called the box model, which is basically how the box interact with other boxes. You can think of it that way. So the box model can be, the good analogy is, the analogy I use is like a cargo box in a cargo ship. So what you need to know is that the box model consists of 4 key parts. So it's the margin and the box itself. The box has 3 parts, which is the content, the padding, and the border. So together they form 4 parts. I have a nice picture here to show you. So the content of the box. Okay, so following the analogy of the cargo ship, the content is basically the items you want to ship. So you talk about how the dimension of the items you want to ship, like how big and how wide it is, how the height and width. Okay, the padding is the space between your item and the walls of the container itself, the cargo container. So basically, you can think of the padding like how thick the styrofoam stuff should be around your content itself. And then the border itself is the walls of the cargo container. So it can be the thick, includes the thickness, the material, etc. Okay, so the key thing is this 3 forms of the box itself. So the whole cargo box includes the border, the padding, and the content. Okay, then the last thing is the margin. The margin is not part of the box, but it's still part of the box model. The margin describes how far away your box needs to be from other boxes and away from the ship itself. Okay, so together, this 4 forms the box model. Today, we specifically go into the content section of the box model. Okay, so the the key properties of content is the width and the height. So basically, you define a space for you to put content, which is, in this case, I've defined this aquamarine box to be 200 pixels high and 200 pixels wide. You can tell this is basically my aquamarine box. Okay, so the content inside the box will try to fill horizontally before vertically, and you will just try to fill as much as possible. Okay, so if I were to upscale this, you realize that it fills vertically more, so you get more white space below. So the question, the aspect ratio doesn't have to be the same, it can be anything, and doesn't even have to be the same unit. So this is pixels, right? We'll go through the different type of units in detail in later videos, but 25%, maybe not 25, let's try 50%. 50% means it uses 50% of the parent, in this case is the screen. That means that the width of the box will always, the width of the content will be 50% of the screen. Okay, the width of the content is not the width of the box. Okay, so we realize that this is what we call responsive design because it responds to the change in screen. Okay, so percentage is one of the key sections you need to learn to use to design responsive web apps. Okay, so the first question that will always come to mind is what happens if the content for the space defined for the content is too small for the content. Okay, you can see for ourselves now, it's something called overflow happen. We'll describe. So what happens is the content will flow out of the defined space, and we will discuss this in detail in later videos. So this is called overflow. In this video, we'll just focus on how the box model represents and interact with the browser itself. Okay, so now that we have talked about overflow, the next thing we want to talk about is what happens if we don't define it. So if we do not define the width and the height, the box will automatically try to find as much space as you want horizontally. So the box will automatically be defined as 100% of the parent. In this case, it's the screen. So then the height will be defined by how far the lines have to wrap. So I think it's easier to show you. So because it will try to fill up the full screen, but since it's maxed out here, you go to the next line. So the height is defined by the 3 lines. So it will find the minimum height and the maximum width. You think of it like that. Okay. So what if I still define a height? The width would still follow the max, but the height will be purposely will follow your definition. On the other hand, for width, the same thing will happen. If I define only the width, the text will only be 200 pixels and the height would expand as much as needed to cover the content like this. So if I were to use 100 width just now, it will not overflow because we don't specify the height will automatically scale to fit the whole content. Okay, the only reason why you overfill is you specify both the width and the height, but it does not fit the text itself. Okay, so now that we have talked the basics of the content, which is just the width and the height, we can now talk about special properties, which is the max width and max height. So I've pasted here. So there's 2 properties of each, which is the max height, max width, min height, min width. So this means that you're saying that the max possible height of the box is 200 and the max width is 200. So you might not be able to see the use right now. So because actually you X the same as width. So if I see the max width is 200, then it's as good as saying the width is 200, right? So, but there is a very interesting property we can use to do this. So for example, let's go back to width. Okay. That's why we have the block of text on the side to demonstrate this. So let's say we want to have a newspaper column, and we don't want them to read more than 800 pixels. Let's increase this to 20 pixels, and we remove the comments. Okay, uncomment this. Okay, we realize that we have a newspaper column. Let me try and increase this to 20 pixels. Really better. Okay, maybe not 800 pixels. Let's drop to 600 pixels. Okay, right. So, okay, this just assume that this works. What this does, margin auto just center a line. This is one of the videos center a line. We'll go through this when we reach the margin part. But for discussion's sake, let's just assume that this makes it center, which it does. Okay, what happens here is, as expected, it's always 600 pixels no matter how big or small the screen is, right? But what this means is that if my screen is less than 600 pixels, I will have to scroll vertically, and this is not a very good user experience. Nobody likes to scroll vertically. Every time I read, I need to read like this. Okay, so what you can do here is you want it to be at most 600 pixels, but if it's less than 600 pixels, it fills the screen. So imagine your mobile screen is less than 600 pixels, and you want it to fill the screen completely. So what you can do is you can define the width to be let's say 95%. I want it to be 95% of the screen, but I want the max to be 600 pixels. So in this case, when I refresh, this will always be 95% of the screen, unless it's larger than 600 pixels. It's already at the semicolon, my bad. So okay, as you can tell, it's always 600 pixel until when it's less than 600 pixel, it will scale accordingly. So I no longer have to scroll vertically, scroll horizontally. See? So it will always take 95% of the screen unless it's unless it's unless it's more than 600 pixel, where it will just take 600 pixel. Okay? So this is a key property of why max and min can be useful. It can be used for there's some tricks you can use it for animation also. So basically you can abuse this to make more responsive websites. And so this is the end of this video. For next two videos we'll go through the next three videos we'll go through the padding, the border and the margins of the box model.